Here's your news for February 14th, 2020. We are starting off today with news from Goldberg, as the former Universal Champion is still a draw, at least according to the viewing figures. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer commented on the quarter-hour ratings from last week's episode of SmackDown. He said, "The quarter with Bill Goldberg was through the roof. It was by far the biggest quarter that they've had in a long time." According to Meltzer, that quarter hour drew 3 million viewers across their 10 biggest markets, with the second hour of SmackDown averaging close to 2.5 million viewers, so that's why the numbers for Goldberg stand out. It should be noted that the Hall of Famer segment with Bray Wyatt was only 5 minutes long, and the rest of the quarter hour featured the brawl between Roman Reigns and King Corbin. Given how many viewers Goldberg brought in, there's been speculation that the Hall of Famer could be booked to main event WrestleMania 36, and the most obvious way to get there would be for Goldberg to defeat The Fiend for the Universal title at Super ShowDown on February 27th. If the WWE went down this route, then they should prepare for backlash, as this would make little sense from a long-term perspective, though WWE doesn't really do long-term booking. If Vince McMahon has the mindset of putting the title on the biggest star right now, then there's no reason why he wouldn't choose Goldberg to main event, possibly against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. The two stars have already taken shots at each other in interviews just a month ago, and with Reigns being the odds-on favorite to win the Elimination Chamber match, this decision ultimately comes down to what match has more fan interest and star power: Reigns vs. Wyatt or Reigns vs. Goldberg. According to WrestleVotes, the WWE is considering some match possibilities for Wyatt, Reigns, Goldberg, and John Cena at WrestleMania, and there's a couple of combinations that could play out. The current match card is believed to be Wyatt vs. Reigns for the title at WrestleMania, though with Goldberg and Cena in the mix, that could change. The Wrestling Observer newsletter also commented that Cena will definitely be at the show in Tampa. They said, "Cena returns on the 2/28 SmackDown show and has already said he's free to wrestle at WrestleMania. Cena's role is said to be locked in for the show." If WWE are willing, Cena could make history at WrestleMania by winning his 17th WWE World Championship, though that would mean him finding a way into the Elimination Chamber match, where the winner will get a title shot at the Showcase of the Immortals. Another possibility for WWE is to go the Dream Match route, and putting Cena against Goldberg would certainly be a match for the ages. While it's unlikely that two guys rarely on TV would be chosen to close out the biggest show of the year, the WWE has been consistently extending the length of WrestleMania, and perhaps it's more practical to end the night with a 5-minute Goldberg match than with a more typical 25-minute main event match. One name that fans haven't heard much from recently is Triple H, as there's no obvious candidate for the game to face at WrestleMania. If Cena doesn't face Goldberg at the show of shows, pitting the former WCW World Champion against Triple H could be an option, as the past bad blood between the two could lead to a worked shoot style angle for a future match. The bottom line is that WrestleMania has always been about big stars, and given the figures from SmackDown, Goldberg remains a big star. Given that there are no plans for Ronda Rousey to compete this year, then Vince McMahon could very well fall back on Goldberg as his WrestleMania headliner. But what match do you feel should headline WrestleMania 36? Leave your answers in the comments below. While John Cena may be preparing to make history at WrestleMania, the 16-time world champion has a long road to the show, including being nominated for the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. The ceremony will happen on March 22nd, and Cena got the nod in the category for favorite TV host due to his role on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?, the Nickelodeon show which he also serves as producer on. Cena wasn't the only WWE name nominated, however, as The Rock received a nod for favorite movie actor, and his film Jumanji: The Next Level was also nominated for favorite movie. We'll have to see who wins big at the awards when the show airs in March, and while Rock and Cena aren't competing against each other in any category this year, that could certainly be a possibility as time goes on. We're looking ahead to WWE Super ShowDown now, as this week the company announced a Two-Wake Trophy Gauntlet match, which will pit 6 Raw superstars competing for a trophy. This isn't the first time a trophy's been up for grabs in a big multi-man match in Saudi Arabia, but given how the past few matches have gone, fans have been wondering whether this trophy will actually mean something. Regardless, the show will see AJ Styles, Andrade, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Eric Rowan, and R-Truth compete for the trophy at the show. But if the tag team turmoil match from the last Saudi Arabia show is any indication, this match could easily end up being a bunch of nothing. Even with that being the case, these 6 superstars could still put together one incredible match, and time will tell whether this match will overshadow the 6-man chamber match on March 8th in Philadelphia. We're once again looking at WrestleMania 36 now, as with the biggest show of the year approaching, interest has turned to who will face The Undertaker. Even after his streak was conquered by Brock Lesnar in 2014, the Dead Man's matches are always a big deal, even though he didn't compete last year, but did make an appearance 2 months later in Saudi Arabia. A recent report by WrestleZone, however, says that the WWE has picked an opponent for the Dead Man at WrestleMania 36, and if true, The Undertaker will face AJ Styles on April 5th in Tampa, Florida. Since his debut in 2016, Styles has always had high-profile matches at Mania, facing Chris Jericho, Shane McMahon, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Randy Orton, and it doesn't get much bigger than facing the Dead Man at WrestleMania. This match makes a lot of sense for many reasons, as not only will it be a huge marquee match, but The Undertaker typically works better against smaller competitors. Over to AEW now, and this week saw Dynamite trending worldwide while NXT was prepping for this weekend's NXT TakeOver Portland show. In the ratings, Dynamite won once again in Wednesday Night War, bringing in 817,000 viewers with a .41 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. For comparison, NXT earned a respectable 757,000 viewers with a .28 in the same coveted graphic, though both shows suffered losses from the week prior. For the February 5th edition of the show, Dynamite pulled in 928,000 viewers, while NXT brought in an audience of 770,000. The week prior to this also saw Dynamite win with an audience of 828,000 compared to NXT's 712,000, as WWE's Gold brand remains to get a win so far this year. From NXT to SmackDown now, as tonight's show will feature a huge tag team match that is yet to be revealed. On the show, The Miz and John Morrison will team against Roman Reigns and a mystery partner, and this match was set up with the A-list tag team going back and forth with the Big Dog on Twitter, challenging Reigns to find a partner. Given that tonight's SmackDown is taking place at the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, the back and forth on social media also included The Miz and Morrison mocking the Usos for not being able to come to Canada. In a tweet, Morrison said that the Usos won't be able to back up anything they say online, and said that this is what it means to be locked down, or rather locked out. As for Miz and Morrison, the Dirt Sheet pair will challenge The New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles at Super ShowDown on February 27th, while Reigns will face Baron Corbin in a steel cage match at the same show. Tonight's SmackDown will also see Bayley defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against Carmella, as well as Otis finally getting his Valentine's Day date with Mandy Rose. One superstar fans won't be seeing tonight, however, is Ronda Rousey, who hasn't competed since her WrestleMania 35 main event loss last year. During the filming of the show 911, Rousey injured her hand, which required surgery, and while we're not certain what's taking the former Raw Women's Champion so long to return, she is apparently pitching ideas. During an interview with ESPN, Stephanie McMahon commented on Rousey, saying that the baddest woman on the planet is excited to return, but didn't say when. She said, "I know that she's very excited about coming back. I think she has some things in her personal life that she wants to do. When the time is right, she'll be back. I have no doubt about that." Commenting on any plans for the Hot Rod, Stephanie said she'd love to see Rousey back for WrestleMania 37, which will take place at the SoFi Stadium in California. She said, "I sincerely hope we have Ronda Rousey back for WrestleMania here at SoFi, only I don't want to be the one facing her in the ring. I don't know, it didn't work out so well for me last time. I think I'll let her do her own thing." Time will tell whether the baddest woman on the planet is back for WrestleMania 37, but she's not currently booked for this year's show. After WrestleMania 36 on April 5th, SummerSlam will be the next big event for her, though Rousey has already stated that if she returns, it won't be full-time. Fans will just have to wait and see what happens with her, but given her star power and impressive rookie year, there will likely always be a place for Rousey in WWE. We reported that this week's episode of NXT was the go-home show for TakeOver Portland, and it seems some superstars went a bit too far in building up the show. During his match against Johnny Gargano, Cameron Grimes suffered what is believed to be bruised ribs, and his condition is being listed as day-to-day. While this is bad news for Grimes, there is some good news for fellow NXT superstar Tino Sabbatelli, who's been cleared to return to the ring after suffering a torn pectoral in 2018. At the time, Sabbatelli was teaming with Riddick Moss, but that tag team is seemingly finished now that Moss is on the main roster and is the reigning 24/7 champion. Sabbatelli will be returning to the ring tonight at an NXT live event in Tampa, so hopefully he doesn't experience any more setbacks, as he's also been at the WWE PC for a very long time as well. From a superstar returning to one debuting now, as it's been revealed that George Bali will be making his debut at the NXT live event this Saturday in Fort Pierce, Florida. Fans may know Bali for his time in AAA, where he competed as El Hijo de Fantasma, or for his time in Lucha Underground as King Cuerno. In a tweet, Bali said it was finally time for him to make his NXT debut, and that it will soon be oh la la time for the self-described Mexico's greatest export. This debut could have been a lot sooner, but Bali blew out his knee, and that set him back, but now he's good to go. A highly talented star with experience in Lucha Libre, Bali lost his mask in an emotional contest at Mania, and soon found his way out of his Lucha Underground contract, where he was finally free to sign with WWE. Speaking of NXT, this weekend we'll see the Gold Brand host their TakeOver Portland show, but matches have already been announced for next Wednesday's episode. After Lio Rush defeated Angel Garza in Full Sail Arena this week, the Man of the Hour earned himself a future NXT Cruiserweight title match against Jordan Devlin, which will take place next week. Also on the card, Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong will face off, and Chelsea Green will hope to get some revenge on Kaden Carter after losing to her on NXT 2 weeks ago. Speaking of Green, her fiancé Zack Ryder has had an interesting WWE career to say the least, but there's some moments the broski doesn't want to remember. 8 years ago this week, Ryder took a ride off the Raw stage in a wheelchair thanks to Kane, and this moment was remembered in a tweet by the WWE Network, much to the chagrin of the former United States champion. In a tweet of his own, Ryder asked if it was really necessary for the network to remember this tragic moment in his career, and while Ryder remains in WWE, fans don't see much of him unless he's figure hunting with Kurt Hawkins on YouTube. At least WWE is keeping his name out there by sharing this tweet, but the Long Island Iced Z would probably argue that there are better ways to remember his contributions to WWE history. And finally today we're ending with huge news from the Hall of Fame, as this year may finally see the induction of one of WWE's most overlooked stars. According to reports, one name being considered for this year is the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, who both fans and superstars have campaigned for years to receive the nod. It's certainly interesting that the Bulldog's son, Davey Boy Smith Jr., was on WWE's The Bump this week, as he reunited the Hart Dynasty with Tyson Kidd and Natalya. So far, the NWO and Batista have been confirmed as inductees for the Hall of Fame, but a report by WrestleVotes this week said that the Bella Twins and Jushin Thunder Liger will also be getting the nod. If the Bulldog does indeed get inducted, it'll be posthumously, as he sadly passed away in 2002, but after an incredible in-ring career, complete with reigns as Intercontinental, European, Hardcore, and Tag Team Champion, it's no secret that the Bulldog deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame.